In this video, I'll summarize the Metamorphosis in about 4 minutes and give you an analysis of the story. Okay, let's get started with the introduction. The story begins when Gregor Samsa, a travelling salesman, wakes up to find that he is transformed into a giant insect. Though shocked, he initially worries more about missing work than his bizarre condition. He attempts to roll out of bed and adjust to his new body, but his many legs and hard shell make movement difficult. He also realises he can no longer speak in a way humans can understand. Meanwhile, his family, his father, mother and sister Greta, waits outside his room, concerned about his absence. His manager arrives to check on him, but Gregor struggles to unlock the door. After much effort, Gregor manages to open the door, revealing his monstrous form. His mother faints in shock, while his father becomes enraged and forces him back into his room by shoving him with a cane. Gregor is hurt, both physically and emotionally, as he realises that his family sees him as a horrifying creature rather than their son. For the first time, he begins to understand that his transformation has changed, not just his body, but also how others perceive him. Over time, Greta, Gregor's younger sister, takes on the responsibility of feeding him. She brings him food, but Gregor soon discovers that his tastes have changed. He now prefers rotten scraps over fresh meals. At first, Greta seems to care for him, even removing furniture from his room to give him more space. However, Gregor's presence remains a burden on the family, as they struggle financially without his income. His father, once weak and defeated, takes a job, while Greta and their mother also begin working. As time passes, Greta's attitude toward Gregor changes. She becomes increasingly frustrated by the effort it takes to care for him and stops seeing him as her brother. The family rents out a room to 3 lodgers to make money, forcing Gregor to remain hidden in his room at all times. One night, Gregor is drawn out of his room by the sound of Greta playing the violin. The lodgers see him and react with disgust, refusing to stay any longer. This incident is the final breaking point for the family. Following the incident with the lodgers, Greta insists that Gregor must be removed for the family to live in peace. She tells her parents that they must accept that the creature in the room is no longer Gregor. Heartbroken and weak from starvation, Gregor retreats to his room. The next morning, he dies alone, feeling like an unwanted burden. When the family discovers his body, they feel relief rather than grief. They dispose of him without ceremony and quickly move on with their lives. After Gregor's death, the family suddenly feels free. They leave their cramped apartment and take a trip to the countryside, feeling hopeful for the future. Greta, now seen as their new source of potential, stretches out and enjoys the sunlight, symbolising her transformation into adulthood. The parents discuss finding her a husband, signalling that life will continue without Gregor, as if he had never existed. Okay, so here's the analysis of this story. Essentially, the Metamorphosis is a story about isolation, alienation, and the pressures of family expectations. Gregor's transformation represents how people can become dehumanized when they are no longer useful to those around them. Once he can no longer provide for his family, they gradually reject him, showing how relationships are often based on dependency rather than love. Another theme explored in the novel is that of guilt and self-sacrifice, as Gregor accepts his fate without ever resisting or questioning his family's treatment of him. His slow decline and ultimate death reflect a loss of identity, as he realises he has become worthless in the eyes of others. Kafka's surreal, yet deeply emotional storytelling captures the pain of feeling unseen, making the Metamorphosis a timeless exploration of human loneliness.